Holistic Flow. I am your girl, Lolo, and today I'm bringing you my updated retwist routine using aloe vera gel and of course water and some oil. So right now you see my hair is clean. I just came out the shower and I lather, rinsed, and repeated. So now I'm spraying my roots with some water that has some aloe vera gel mixed in with it. There are some things that I'm gonna do differently in this routine. First, you'll see me using this rat tail comb to straighten out my parts. In this beginning section, I'm just kind of straightening out the parts and separating where my hair wants to fuse together at the roots. Now I'm using aloe vera gel and I'm just gonna get like a little pea-sized amount on my finger, and that's what I'm gonna use to retwist. If my sense of direction is working well, I twist in the counterclockwise motion because that's just the way that I like to two-strand twist. So that's the direction that I started my locks in. So I'm just twisting it at the root, but I'm not palm rolling this one because most of the locks at the back of my head are the thinner ones. So I didn't feel like I needed to palm roll it. And after I retwist this section, you're gonna see me wrap the base of my lock or the root of my lock around itself like in a bantu knot. And that's just because I didn't feel like clipping this one yet because there's nothing really to clip it. Like if I just put a clip on it, it's going to unravel. I hope that made sense. So on to the next one. I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I did for the first lock, which is put on the aloe vera gel and twist it in a counterclockwise motion, but not palm rolling because again, these locks at the back of my head tend to be the more thin locks. They don't really need to be palm rolled. So I did not palm roll that one. And then you will see me unravel the first one because now I can clip these two locks together so that they will be able to stay. Fast forward, in the first row, the bottom row of my locks have been retwisted. The next row, my locks get a little thicker near the root. So you can see that thick part there, that's where I'm going to palm roll this one. And first I'm just going to go in one direction and then I go back and forth like so. I don't do this to all the locks. I pretty much examine the lock individually because each of your locks have character. No one lock is like the other, and that's why I love them. But I just go through each individual lock, see if it would benefit from palm rolling. If it doesn't, then I just leave it be. But if I feel like it needs to be, then I will palm roll either in one direction or both directions like I'm doing here. Now that I have been in the lock game for about 6 months, I definitely can vouch for having lighter hold products when you're retwisting. That is why I chose to use aloe vera gel and water only, because really, if you are going a longer amount of time without doing retwists, you're going to have some marrying, which is what I am dealing with now. As you can see, some of my roots have crossed over into other sections of my hair, and that's why I'm trying to separate them, because originally the parts were pretty crispy, but my roots have kind of merged and joined or married with each other. And if you don't separate them back, then they will grow like that. And unless you want them like that, and there's no problem with it, unless you don't want it. And I don't exactly want my roots to be married, so I have to separate them. And having wet or damp roots while you're separating your roots or popping the locks can help tremendously with reducing as much breakage as you can, because basically when you're popping the locks, that's kind of what you're doing. You are breaking off your roots, or not breaking them off, but you're separating them from each other so that they can go back into the sections you want them to go into. I would definitely keep that in mind when you are retwisting. Please let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoy watching time lapses of me doing my hair. Little sections in the video where I'm not necessarily talking or anything. It's just the fast version of me doing my hair when I don't really cut that many clips. Let me know if you enjoyed that. I feel like it can be satisfying, but I'm not sure what other people think. As I mentioned previously, the locks that are the thickest at the root are mainly the ones that I palm roll the most. And the ones that are thickest in my head are the ones that are in the back and on the crown of my head, which is these right here, which makes it look like I'm going ham on these locks. And I might just be, I'm not really sure. But you know, sometimes when we think we're being gentle, we're actually pretty rough. And I can't lie to myself that I am pretty heavy-handed when I think I'm light-handed. Comment down below if you can relate.
Ryan Little.
Moving to the front of my head, where I am able to be more precise with the parting because I'm able to see this part better. Hey, y'all know them faces that you make when you really trying to, I don't know, perfect some type of stuff. Yeah, all them faces are going to appear here on the screen for you. So I hope that it's entertaining. Another thing that I forgot to mention earlier when I was on the back side of my head is that palm rolling is or can be a preventative measure for flat locks. And that's if you mind having flat locks or if you want to prevent having flat locks. But if you really don't care about that, then I wouldn't pay any mind to what I'm saying now. However, I mentioned in my last video, the 6-month lock update, that I got some flat roots in my locks and I didn't really enjoy it. That's one of the reasons that I started palm rolling as well, because the palm rolling method can help prevent the locks from flattening out by more so rounding them out. I think that's just important to know as well. As I finish up retwisting my hair, I then prepare to sit under my golden hot hooded dryer for about 30 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes. Before I go to sleep, I make sure that my locks are completely dry. And then I wake up in the morning and take my lock bonnet off and shake my hair out. But first, I'm gonna show off the finished result. Now I'm going to oil my scalp, and I'm going to get in between every single part in my scalp. And the way I do this is first by organizing my hair by putting it in two sections, half up, half down. And I'm going to apply the oil horizontally first and then rub it in vertically. So I'm gonna apply it to every horizontal section, and then with my fingertips, I rub it into each vertical section, rows and columns. Now I'm going to show close-ups of my locks after they've been retwisted, because you can visually see the 6 months worth of new growth. You can see the difference between the new growth, which looks a little bit more loose, and the point where my 2-strand twists were started once I started my locks. And this just shows kind of how palm rolling packs the new growth in and makes it more cohesive into the rest of the lock. And now I'm gonna spray my hair with water that has aloe vera gel in it. And I'm spraying this very carefully on the ends and the length of my hair. Very careful not to get the roots of my hair. After I spray my hair with water, I'm going to get that same oil and seal in the moisture that I just put with the water seal that in with some oil. The reason why I went to go get an older t-shirt to put around my neck was that this yellow shirt that I'm wearing is very susceptible to getting oil stains on it. And notice how with the oil, I'm not necessarily rubbing it on top of my hair, but squeezing it in. I'm not sure why exactly I do this. I really feel like it just makes me feel like it more so gets the moisture inside of my lock rather than on top of it. But I have no evidence to prove that that's actually what it does. It just makes me feel better. And here's a clip that I'm gonna show how I put the bead and cowrie shell on the lock that I call my rat tail. I first get a bobby pin about yay big, and it's one of those bobby pins that is flexible. And I put the end of the rat tail through the bobby pin, like so. Then I take the bead and thread it through the bobby pin. It wasn't going in until then. And then I put it all the way through. Then I do the same with the second bead that I have. And then I do the exact same thing for the cowrie shell. The cowrie shell can sometimes get a little more difficult than the regular beads. After that, I take the end of that lock, fold it over, and then I take a rubber band about yay large and I just wrap it around. It is very, very simple. That concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, but until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, enjoy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all, peace.